Mr. Jaquel Clark, who decided to interrupt me during the middle of me calling another case, despite his attorney asking for me to pass it.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. You called my name and I
And
had
then did you hear the attorney say, please, that he wanted me to pass it until your other attorney came back, sir?
No, ma'am, I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. I swear I didn't hear that. I heard you call my name and I didn't hear the attorney. Sometimes this Zoom is in and out. So
Okay, thank you, sir. State of Michigan versus Jaquel Clark, 21S00033.
Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Allison Mueller here on behalf of Jaquel Clark. Mr. Clark, could you state your name for the record, please?
Jaquel Clark.
All right. So when we were here back in August, I scheduled for this matter to be in person. And then Mr. Clark did not show up on September the 12th, 2023, when it was scheduled for a warrant issued. And then somehow it got scheduled for me and in a Zoom environment. So we're back again to be arraigned on a bench warrant.
Your Honor, before that, you told me, I think it was in July or June or July, you told me I had a warrant out for my arrest since April. You know what an SOR is?
Yes, I do, sir.
Okay, I have to do that every 3 months. Now, the last time I came to court to you, you told me to turn myself in. I tried to turn myself in July. They wouldn't do it, but I had to do my SOR. In October, I did the same thing because I was trying to clear up the bench warrant. I did another SOR and they wouldn't accept me. They had me sit out in the lobby for like an hour and they even let me go smoke and come back in and wait and told me that the deputy was going to come get me. They never came and got me. Then I had to do another SOR last month. And I did that. And the deputy tell me I can't turn myself into the jail. I have to turn myself into the courts. So I called the courts and one of the clerks or representatives, she gave me a court date a date. But if I don't do a SOR, you know, it's subject to jail, 4 years in prison, or, you know, it's some kind of violation. So if I got paperwork of doing that, then I was trying to tell the lawyer the other day that I got paperwork of doing that and they wouldn't accept me. She didn't believe me. But if I have to do it every 3 months and they tell me I got a warrant, they not accepting me, what am I supposed to do? Like I said, I just did it again a couple weeks ago and I got the SOR report, I got the paperwork and everything, and they told me to you know, I can't turn myself in at the jail. I have to turn myself in at the courts. So I got an arraignment today. She set up an arraignment today. I forgot her name, but she's one of the clerks at your courthouse.
All right, who'd like to talk next?
Your Honor, I'll wait, you know, until everybody else has a chance to go. No rush here.
Your Honor, I did speak with Mr. Clark last week and he told me what he's just relayed to the court. I tried to catch up on what had happened in August. I'm not sure. Mr. Clark may have to remind me why he missed. I think he said he wasn't aware of the September court date or had his dates mixed up. I did tell him what he needs to do and recommended he reach out to probation. I also contacted Ms. Straub. I think Officer Straub's conversation with me over emails relayed in her report. And so at this time, Your Honor, I don't have anything to add. I would be asking to give Mr. Clark a last chance to do what he needs to do to report to probation. So that'd be my request today.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Mr. Clark again. Go ahead, sir.
What me and the attorney were discussing the other day, I think she called me Thursday or Friday. It could have been a mishap. I was already on probation when you sentenced me. I was already on probation. I think you sentenced me June 2nd or June 3rd of 2022. I was already on probation. On the 7th of June, I ended up talking to the probation officer, and he told me to continue my probation from the first probation that I was already on. And when I finished that, I ended up finding out that he's not my probation officer no more. And I don't know who my probation officer was at the time. And I was trying to reach out, but then 6, 7 months later, I find out I have a warrant. And that was 2022. I called him in September. That's when I was, they gave me an extra 3 months of probation violation. And I was released in September. I reached out to, I think his name is Tom Heaton, but he never responded back. And then in April, in June, I found out I had a warrant since April. And when you told me to turn myself in, I did it and they wouldn't accept me. And I don't understand how you go, I don't want to go to jail, but I get taken to jail. But when I do go to jail to turn myself in, they will not accept me. Like I said, I did 3 SORs in that time and I never got arrested. And I just don't understand how I can't turn myself into the jail, but you tell me to turn myself into the courts. I thought you turn yourself in at the county jail.
All right, Ms. McDuffie.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Clark, I'm going to ask if you can refrain from interrupting for a moment. So Mr. Clark has made a few references to June, but I'm going to bring it up a bit actually to August, because it was on August 2nd that it appears that he successfully canceled the bench warrant that was out August 2nd of 2023. He appeared in this court on August 29th, had a jail recommendation at that time, and I have in my notes from that hearing, defendant said, "What did I do?" when informed that he had a jail recommendation. We adjourned on August 29th to September 12th in person so that his attorneys could discuss with him all the things that needed to be done. My notes from September 12th reflect that his attorney at that time, it was a different public defender, had discussed some of the violations with probation, and that Mr. Clark on September 12th had a bunch of things that he mentioned about people not following up with him at Catholic Social Services, classes he was supposed to be taking, and that he found out that Agent Straub existed in April as Agent Heaton was no longer here anymore, and stated he didn't even know that he had her. And Your Honor said, "Whose fault is that?" Your Honor then read off the entire list of things that he had been sentenced to and said, "Who do you think gets in trouble when somebody doesn't call you back?" And that he should probably try to get some things done between now and then. Now referring again to September 12th of 2023. Defendant said, "What do I need to do? Can you repeat that list?" No, he needed to contact probation or his attorney for all the things that the court had already read off. So now, going back to the next appearance, when defendant failed to appear, that bench warrant is newer than June. The reason that bench warrant exists is because he didn't appear in person like he was supposed to. So this is not a bench warrant that's been out since April or June of last year. He had a whole bench warrant canceled and appeared, but failed to do what he needed to do. Furthermore, I understand there was a request today for him to have one more chance to do what he needs to do to get right with probation. But he was told to do that last fall. So my question is, what, if anything, especially given that he was present in court and was read an entire list of all the things that he was ordered to do in probation and ought to be completing during this entire time, what has he done between now and then, since the court specifically said that he should be trying to get some of those things done between now and then? I don't have any idea what Mr. Clark is referring to regarding him not being able to turn himself in at the jail, but I'm not even focused on that, because I'm focused on why he's still violated, which is for those reasons of not completing those requirements. What progress has been made on that in the last 6 or so months?
Your Honor, could I interject?
You may not.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I just wanted you to know that I did reach out to the jail. I've never heard of anybody ever being turned away for being on the SOR. They said that they don't have any record of him attempting to turn himself in. They don't turn away just because of SOR. And they see that he has a no bond VOP, which they said they would definitely hold on no matter what his SOR status was.
All right.
Your Honor, when they do a SOR, when you have to do a SOR, they run your name. and they told me I had a warrant, but they wouldn't accept me. I did it 3 times and they wouldn't accept me. Matter of fact, me and my girlfriend went up there a couple weeks ago, and she was trying to ask them why they wouldn't accept me, and they told me I had to go through the courts to go to jail. If you got a warrant and if you got a warrant and they do a SOR report on you, if they tell you that if you got a warrant status out for your arrest. She had me sit out in the lobby one time for about an hour and said that the deputies was coming upstairs in a few minutes to come get me. They didn't come get me. And I did it. I did 3 SORs. And if I got a warrant for my arrest, they would have arrested me, but they didn't. And the last time I did it, and Your Honor, you should know that if I have a warrant and I'm doing an SOR, they're going to keep me.
I've heard enough.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
I'll see you on March 5th, 2024 at 10 o'clock in person here.
Yes, ma'am.
Outstanding until then.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll see you here.
So my warrant is waived.
No, it's still outstanding.
But I see you on March 5th.
That's correct.
Yes, ma'am.
If you show up.
I will. I'll probably go to jail for it.
You said you got to go from the court.
They said I had to go. Ma'am,
that's not a discussion.
I know, ma'am. Like I said, Miss Washington, Judge Washington. Like I said, I had to do 3.
All right. The court will call the case.